Hello again there, everybody. This is going to be YouTube recording number 39. So, quite a ways into our Jund journey here, and the thought experiment is continuing to be Dark Confidant. I think Dark Confidant is particularly well positioned with a combination of a few factors. Factor number one is I think Dark Confidant really shines when the premier mid-range strategies don't necessarily care about their life total. I think that's the case versus stuff like the various Uro, Niv Mizzet, and now Omnath piles, because if they kill you, they usually kill you by a lot, and it tends to be a resource game. And in the resource fight, Dark Confidant tends to really shine. Dark Confidant also really shines against metas full of combo decks, because Dark Confidant lets you find that efficient interaction, and also is a quick 2-mana threat. And attacking is important to get the opponent dead before they can combo you. Dark Confidant is not good versus obviously lots of the hyper aggro decks like Prowess and all the stuff playing Lava Dart. But yeah, Dark Confidant I think is a pretty strong card overall, and if you can pick a meta where its spot is good, I think you'll have a good time with it. So we're trying it out to see if my theory is right. I give it about probably in this meta like a 6 or a 7 out of 10, but I'm open to be proven wrong or being surprised and being proven wrong in the other direction as well. So still playing 3 Ren and 6, even though playing 3 Dark Confidant, I don't think playing one doesn't necessarily means I shouldn't be playing the other. Still doing the split of 3 push, 3 bolt. I have liked it. 4 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize, pretty standard. The Clings have still overperformed. I like the 1 Kolaghan's Command, 1 pull split, and then we're playing 3 Blood Braids at the top. So again, to make room for the Dark Confidants, what I have done is I have removed one of my lands from the 24. I think that 23 lands and access to 3 Ren and 6s and 3 Dark Confidants means I will hopefully be able to hit my lands pretty consistently as I need them. And then since I am down a land, I decided to shave on a Bloodbraid Elf. In addition to that reasoning, Dark Confidant and Bloodbraid Elf tend to be good in similar matchups, so I think going up a really good card in some matchups means I can go down a little bit in another lane. And then the other card that I cut was, I don't even remember. Oh, I cut my 1 copy of Tireless Tracker, which was over here, again because it plays a similar role to the Dark Confidant. And then my sideboard I think is still pretty solid. If I'm playing against anything super low to the ground, where I need extra spot removal, I can bring in a Fatal Push. Anything hyper aggro or even mid-range decks that play Cryptic Command and Factor Fiction, I can bring in Brutality. And it's also just another flexible removal spell if I really need a removal spell. Ashiok, pretty great versus the various mid-range and combo decks. Angers is a catch-all / sweeper. And then Bitter Blossom has been very, very impressive, so I'm continuing to test it. It's been very great versus the Uro piles, and it's also been great versus various combo strategies where I can just stick it on 2 and let it go to town. And then Damping Sphere and Cleansing Wildfire, my land hate of choice. And then to round it off, we've got Nile Spellbomb as just a flex spot sideboard card. That's great versus mid-range to snipe stuff like Uro, and also obviously be very good versus stuff like Dredge, and really anything that's super graveyard centric. So let's take a look at the current modern metagame really quick. We've got Uro piles still at the very, very top, now incorporating things like Omnath, Rakdos Shadow, raising all the way to second place at a 9.1% meta share. That's pretty high. But interesting to note also that between the top 2 decks, we've got roughly 20% of the meta, and then it's a sharp drop off to nearly half of that. I'm going from over 9% to less than 5%, which is Humans followed by Blue-White, and then Stoneblade, pretty similar to Blue-White, but not playing any of the counter spells. And then we've got the various aggro, mid-range, and combo decks that Modern has come to know and love over time. So with that said, let us just hit the right button on Magic Online and then jump into this league here. Play league match view. All right, I didn't babble for too long. That's good. Hey, we did it. And we've got a keeper. Excellent. We're playing against Terp. Spell Bomb. No idea what that could mean. I guess it could be an Urza pile, but we don't have to wonder for too long. We've got Inquisition. Urza pile. Alright, so it's Thopter-Sword. I'm not going to take Bloodchief's Thirst. Taking Sword of the Meek seems pretty stupid because then they just get it back. I should probably just take the combo piece that is harder for them to find another copy of, which would definitely be the Thopter Foundry. And we've got the Fatal Push, which is almost definitely intended for Urza. Wow, they bricked on the land too. That's pretty big. Alright, let's just go land pass. Not super afraid of cracking the fetch early now. Because that does take away our revolt source. And I'm definitely going to want to hold the Cling in hand because that would be a way to get rid of the Sword of the Meek. So let's just fetch this. We'll get Stomping Ground because between Peatland and Blackleaf Cliffs, that'll complete the trifecta. Would love a Tarmogoyf for something. You know what's really good in this matchup is Dark Confidant. Alright, well that's getting bolted. I'll let them make their decision first. And if they get a sword right now, which they have, I might just cling it immediately. Alright, I'll definitely pop off the bolt now as well, which means I can untap and Bloodbraid. It'll be a little awkward if I Bloodbraid into a removal spell. But if I don't, it's definitely worse. Ooh. So now the decision is, do I want to cast the Scavenging Ooze and hold up removal spells? Or just tap out for the Bloodbraid here? I think I'm still leaning towards tapping out for a Bloodbraid. The opponent has the Bloodchief's Thirst, so it's pretty likely to just die immediately anyway. So let's just get our stronger source of pressure down. And then ideally this hits another 2-mana threat to pave the way for the Ooze. Or we'll just hit another Ooze anyway. Yeah, that works too. That is in fact another threat. Alright, jam for 3. And obviously we've gotten pretty fortunate so far as the opponent not hitting their lands. They've redrawn twice even between Spellbomb and the Ichor Wellspring. I'm gonna have to watch out for having a way to revolt. Alright, and then playing that means they get to have another way to have another artifact to improvise with. Alright, so there goes the Bloodchief's Thirst. Another land, not great. So if I want to be able to kill the Urza, I need to have the Nurturing Peatland available to sacrifice, but then I only have 2 mana left over. What I could do here is I could cast Run in 6, get back Verdant, play Verdant, and then that's an easy way to revolt. And then I could still have up... I guess I would not have an activation on Scavenging Ooze. I'd have 5 lands. I could put Ooze into play, and then I can decide if I want it to be a Fatal Push or an Ooze activation, but I can't do both. So I mean that still seems better than just playing Ooze and passing though, because then I only have one green source anyway after playing the Ooze. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Run in 6. Then I'm gonna get the Verdant Catacombs back. I'm gonna play the Ooze and play the Verdant, but not crack the Verdant. And then I can decide what this mana is going to do later. I mean, as is, they can't actually cast either of the cards that we know about. They don't even have triple blue for the Whir. They need a land, period, to cast this Urza. Get another Bloodchief's Thirst. That would be annoying. And I'm not super worried about sacrificing this fetch now, because with the Ren and 6 in play, I'm going to have access to another fetch anyway. So I think I should be eating something here. Not entirely sure what it should be, though. It's definitely an artifact. I guess if they're playing Scrap Trawler or something, for whatever reason, I should probably just get their Foundry off the board. Sorry, out of the yard. Right, so they could have Urza'd, but they chose not to. Hey, that's a Bob. So, I do have the ability to escape this Cling to Dust should I have to. I definitely want to get this fetch back so I can revolt if need be. Definitely going to play the Bob, but I guess I should just be attacking first if I want to be correct about the sequencing. Wait, what just happened? I don't know why they tapped a mana. Go. Bolt. Blast, sure. Yeah, I guess Blast does make more sense out of this deck. So yeah, I mean, sequencing did matter there. I mean, it ended up not mattering, but it would have had they Galvanic Blasted the Bloodbraid Elf in combat, then I would have the Bob living. So I could sacrifice Peatland now and buy that back with the Ren and 6. Probably should. Yikes. So now they can whir for some amount. We know their hand is Urza and Whir. Yikes, more lands. Not great. So they can whir for, let's actually count, 4. Don't know what they could get on 4. But let me attack while I still have this Cling to Dust available and escape. X is 2. Yep. Get a Thopter Foundry. Uh-huh. Oh, they're doing this. Sure. Well, we know about the Whir, and they could just get another Thopter Foundry, and then that's not actually dead on board is why. Alright, so they do have the combo. We've got Cling to Dust to defend versus it. But if they can sacrifice multiple artifacts, to get the sword back, we could be in trouble. So we're going to have to tread lightly. And if they play the Urza, I definitely need to sacrifice the peatland so that I have Revolt. Because they do just have the infinite. Right? So I'm gonna have to respond to this trigger before they make the token. Wait, we're just dead anyway, huh? Well, we get to do this no matter what. So let's do that. Alright, so... Oh, I'm stupid, huh? Yeah, this is going to give him the extra artifact. I needed to play the fetch last turn. Because now I can't escape Cling and have the Fatal Push. So I'm just stupid, right? Alright, so if I Fatal Push this now, they just go infinite in response. So yeah, I have to let this resolve. I mean, I still have the Cling to Dust in my yard, but the thing is now they have an extra artifact to sack to reinitiate the loop. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bolt this construct and then go for it. Alright, so let's just get a fetch now. I'm going to want all my mana to start this fight. So they can sacrifice... They can't sacrifice this because it's a token. If I'm very careful, I think there's a way out of my screw up. You got Cryptic? Oh, you're going to war for 1. Oh, are they going to get like a Pithing Needle or something? I don't know what the 1 could be. I mean, if it's Pithing Needle, it's going to be really unfortunate. So let me... I guess fetch now. Sure. I mean, putting anything into play means their thing gets to live. They're getting Spell Bomb. I mean, this takes them off of infinite. Yeah, I messed this up. Big time. Oh, I messed it up again. So like now if I cling it in response, they're just gonna pay another 1. Yeah, I needed to respond to the War of Invention again. Right, so I just have to let them. But now they're infinite. Yeah, I just really messed this up. Yeah, they just go infinite in response. Yeah, I messed this up twice. Grr. Oh my god, that sucks. Yeah, they just go infinite. Right? Pretty sure. Alright, and then sword comes back. That negates this, and then they make infinite mana and just do this as many times as they want. Darn. Alright, well, I did a stupid. Alright, Ashiok gonna be good. Spellbomb gonna be good. Fatal Push is probably fine. It's definitely better than Bolt. Brutality takes Whir. Cryptic if they're playing it. Not sure that they are. Don't think I want Damping Sphere. Running 6 doesn't kill a lot. Honestly, I'm just gonna not play this extra push. What does this have us at? Brutality is probably just our worst hand disruption spell. This has me needing to cut 5 still. Let's cut one of our tap out cards. Maybe like a Bolt. It's very possible I should just be cutting the bolts. I'm not really short on answers for the X3s, like the engineer that like flips things in the yard and the field. Never remember the name of it. I think I want to keep all my interaction, but Goyf is so good. There's no way cutting a Goyf is good, right? Maybe like Uninquisition. Yeah, this could be fine. Give it a go. Goblin Engineer, is that the name of it? Yeah. Gonna need to hit green source for the running 6, but if we can hit a fetch land, this hand is really good. It's missing adequate pressure though. Do the thing. It is called Goblin Engineer. They have double Blood Chief's Thirst. Edido, thanks for the follow. I mean, I think I'm just going to take the Engineer, to be honest. Ashiok Nightmare Muse. I mean, they've got 3 removal spells, so I can't really punch a hole in that regard. Like, if they had 1 Blood Chief's Thirst, then maybe, because then I can get it through. Then I can get my Renin 6 through. It's really hard, but then they have multiples. I'll take the Engineer. Them entombing something could be dangerous, even if I do have the Cling. Fetch land, please. Not exactly. It's a green source. Mark Moling, thanks for the follow. Alright, so I could run in 6 now, but there's no value to be gained. They're just going to Blood Chief's Thirst it immediately. You know, I guess I'll just cast another Inquisition, see what's up. Jeez. I'm not going to be able to beat these Planeswalkers, no way. They hit land. No. Should I be clinging now? I mean, the way that I'm losing this game is no longer the combo. It's just all these walkers. I think I need to start digging for answers to the walkers. There's a Thoughtseize. That's an answer. Step 1. I think I gotta take the Tezzeret. That's coming down much sooner. Again, I don't think I'm playing the Renin 6 into nothing. It's bobbing indeed. Doing the best I can. It's not good enough. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to beat this Ashiok. Don't think so. Doing okay. Nothing to complain about currently. You know how much I love to complain. Come on, deck. That's an okay one. What's up, Nick? Oh, you drew a counter? The one card I don't know about, is it a counter? It's not. Alright, well, they don't have Metalcraft and they're far from it, so I think first activation is free. And then I think I'm going to be milling myself on the following activations, that way hopefully I can buy something back with Ren and 6. Alright, well, they're going to get to Ashiok me now. I don't need to target myself immediately. I can always just do it next turn. Like, if they want to use their entire turn to Blood Chiefs and Ashiok instead of playing their Ashiok, like, I'm perfectly okay with that. But, I mean, I get access to the same play on this turn as well, and I don't have anything better to do. So, like, now I'll do it. I mean, it's a punish if I miss completely, but the odds of that happening are pretty low. There we go. And I can Fatal Push this Nightmare, but then I still got the Ashiok to deal with. Yeah, let's get Peatland. And then I guess I should probably just replay the Ooze immediately. Or, sorry, just play the Ooze now, but they have so many answers to it, it hardly matters. Definitely don't want them to be able to attack with the Nightmare. But I mean, if they're gonna counter a Fatal Push, that's also fine. This Ashiok is gonna be a headache, though. I'm gonna have to find my pulse. I just read your comment, Mark. Urza. That hardly seems fair. Yeah, this matchup is, I think it's close, but I don't think it's favored. Kill my Ren. Yep. Make another dude. So if I play Ooze, that just gets killed immediately. I definitely have to get rid of this Urza. No question about that. I mean, I guess to prevent an ultimate. I mean, the ultimate doesn't actually do anything, right? Not yet. I think what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to terminate the Urza, and then I can use the Kolaghan's command to kill the Construct and do 2 to the Ashiok. Let's do this now before they get access to mana. Non-zero chance my life total comes up here. So do I want to get a basic? Probably. I think I'm going to want to get Forest here, so I've got ample green for this Ooze. And I still say go. Yeah, their sideboard plan, the planeswalkers are definitely rough. Yikes. I'll give it one more draw step. If you don't draw like a Bloodbraid into something good here, I'm ready to pack it in. Time to pack it in. So I definitely made mistakes in our first game. Yeah, it was rough. I don't think I could have done anything differently. Oh, obviously I could have done things differently, but I think given the position that I knew I was in at each stage in that second game, I think I made the right decisions. Like obviously we drew more hand disruption, so in hindsight I could easily say, well, I should just take their removal spells early so that way my threats could stick, but like I just didn't know I was gonna draw more. Humans? This sounds good versus humans. Do I think Rock could be as good? I mean, it's hard to say. You're not losing just Ren and 6. You're also losing Lightning Bolt and Bloodbraid Elf, which are two very good reasons to play Jund because it gives you extra reach, right? Like you have haste with Bloodbraid, and it's also card advantage with Bloodbraid. It's really good to cast it into the counter spells that the control decks could have because of the Cascade, and then like Bolt gives you some reach. So I mean, you're missing out on a lot. I mean, I guess if you're worried about haste, you'd play like Questing Beast, right? Okay, this hand from the opponent pretty interesting. The Reflector Mages are likely just to be 2/3s. I think I'm just gonna take their better pieces of pressure. Image doesn't actually copy anything right now. I'll take a Rider. BBE can replace by Bobbin Tracker. Yes and no. Bloodbraid's got haste, like I was mentioning, so you could definitely come out of nowhere with some extra damage, which is a big plus side. Also, the important thing about Bloodbraid is, like I mentioned, Cascade means that there are 2 spells put on the stack at the same time, which puts counter spells in an awkward position. Goyf is a good one. We know about these cards, though. Let's lead on Thoughtseize, see what the new pickup is. The hand disruption spells, I think, lose equity pretty quickly. So I like casting them early. I should probably just take Reflector Mage number 1. The Phantasmal Image is a little sticky. Yeah, let's just take a Reflector Mage. They can't even guarantee put a Reflector Mage into play immediately. And if they cast a Phantasmal Image, I could have the potential for a blowout. Because I could, like, push in response. What does Image do? It enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. They can also select my creatures if they choose. But if there are no creatures on the battlefield when it attempts to enter, it will just stay as 0/0 and die immediately. Alright, well now they can Reflector if they wish. And I think I will cast Fatal Push now anyway. If they want to vial in an image so they can copy a champion, that's fine. I can untap and Kolaghan's Command and blow up both things. They didn't want to play their Reflector? Thoughtseize is an interesting hit. So I've got a few options in terms of ways to deal with their stuff. So Thoughtseize is no longer a card after this turn, but I could also just save the 2 life. What I could do here is I could go Thoughtseize plus Tarmogoyf. That has me putting myself to 14, but that stonewalls the champion. And then I could save Kolaghan's Command for a future turn. They're gonna have 2 looks at their next play though, because they do have a Canopy in play. I think I want the Thoughtseize to be a card at all, so I think that means I'm gonna be Thoughtseizing plus Tarmogoyfing. Yeah, and then like Nick is saying, we could set up for Kolaghan's Command on the following turn. It's not gonna be as good, or at least not guaranteed to be as good. Just because there's no card in the opponent's hand to have them discard. So the 2 worst cases, I think, are Mantis Rider and another copy of Reflector Mage. We can deal with just about everything else. Can you build Jund with only 1 or 2 Rens? Yeah, it's possible. Are you talking about building it on Magic Online or in paper? Because if you're going to build it in Magic Online, a really affordable substitute would be Dark Confidant. They're like a ticket and a half a piece, I think. So they kept Vial on 2. They've got 1 card in hand. So I could kill a champion and have the opponent discard. It's a little bit of a disaster if they've got a 2-drop. But they kept it on the Vial on 2 blind. I think they probably should have ticked it up, because if they had a 2-mana play, they could have played it and Vialed in something on 3. I think I want to try to get the card out of their hand, because if it's a 3-drop, it's pretty good for me. And if it's not, then Vial doesn't do a whole lot anyway. Like, Vial no longer represents any cards. It's just tricky to deal with instant speed stuff. So I think I'm going to lead on command, because that can help me determine whether or not I want to be attacking here. You're only playing Magic Online? Then yeah, you can build it without the Ren and 6s. If you want, you could substitute Dark Confidant. It plays a similar role, but Dark Confidant obviously more susceptible to removal. Alright, so let's do 2 to a target and have them discard. There is an argument to killing the smaller champion, just because Lightning Bolt will always kill the image, as if I target it, it just dies. But I think I'm going to prioritize just killing the bigger one. And then I just hope they don't have something to violent on 2 here. Got a 2-drop? Bummer. Oh, I guess they could be messing with me. Oh no, they do have a 2-drop, and it's a good one. Alright, well, I guess I'm really glad that I targeted the one that I did, because the one that I targeted would have been a 3/3 and would have survived. Alright, well, I'm not attacking now. I mean, they're still stonewalled. I need to dodge Mantis Riders and Reflector Mages. Cling? That can represent some extra life. I don't think I necessarily have an attack with the Ravine right now. If they flash in another creature with the Vial, they could 1-for-1 trade with my champion. I mean, I could just attack with Tarmogoyf and intend on blocking with Ravine. It's not the worst idea. I do need to get them dead at some point. I think an attack here might be fine. We're only at 4-5 though. That's not a whole lot. Like if you're even one more, that shaves a whole turn off the clock. I think it's pretty close, but I'm leaning towards attack. And then I think I'm going to try to just block with the Ravine. No, I just don't want them to like flash in a Reflector Mage here. That would be really stupid. So I can, if I want, Cling and Escape Cling as early as this turn, like on the opponent's end step if I'm not blocking with Ravine. Like, I could do it just to gain 6. I mean, 6 is a healthy chunk. That's basically a combat and a half with how everything is laid out right now. Alright, sacrificing now is a good sign. Noble? Yeah, alright, well now they can attack with just the larger champion for 5. So if I exile my entire yard for this Cling, does that take types out? Probably does. I'll have instant because of the Cling. They'll have creature land. I'm taking out sorcery. It makes me a 3/4. Definitely taking it. I mean, I could just use the Cling as ways to draw cards. I mean, if that was the plan, I should have definitely done this in response. If I find a way to kill this, I'm going to feel stupid. Let's take a land out of the deck. In the event I find Scavenging Ooze, I'm going to want to have a lot of green. But if I want to escape this Cling to Dust now, which I think I do want to do, I need to get a basic. I'll get a mountain. Alright, well I didn't draw something that made me feel like an idiot, but I did draw a land, so I still feel bad. Alright, well now I'll just gain life. I'm going to make sure to leave a sorcery in my yard. Come on, deck. Removal. Removal. That's kind of removal. That has me not attacking with, or sorry, not blocking with Ravine. And as is, I don't block this champion through the Exalted. It's kind of hard to not just do this though. And they probably just gonna end up sacking their smaller of the two humans that grow. They sack the noble? Well, I mean, then putting any human into play means that their champion attacks past my Tarmogoyf anyway. I think I am gonna sacrifice this fetch land. It starts feeding this Cling to Dust again. Alright, land. That's good for me from the opponent. I mean, their board's not all that impressive. Oof. All right. Well, an attack from them here is kind of nerve wracking because like if they can violent any human, they get to just eat my Goyf. Is that a gamble I'm able to take? I mean, if they vial something in and it's 3 creatures versus my none, there's 0 ways that I'm winning. Okay. All right. Sure. I'll take it. Alright, so I'll bring in Brutalities just because it kills something most of the time. I'll bring in the Anger. I'll bring in the extra Fatal Push. I'll take out Thoughtseizes. Again, I think the 1-mana Hand Disruption loses equity pretty quickly. And there's nothing that Inquisition can't take that the Thoughtseize can. I mean, Thoughtseize obviously can take anything, but I think everything in their deck costs 3 or less. So what do I want to cut now? I need 3 cuts. On the draw, I can definitely see wanting to shave a Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant is a good way to stay ahead, though. Like if I can put it on an empty board when I'm like 10 or more life, I'll feel really good. Maybe it's just the Clings. Like, the Clings don't really do a whole lot here. It's literally just gain some life or cycle. I can definitely see that swap. Yeah, let's give this a go. Oof. Well, we don't have a good way to interact on 1. We have the Ren and 6 to interact on 2, but if they've got something like a Thalia, we're just so behind. I think on the play this hand's pretty defensible, but on the draw it's really risky. Like, even a Peatland makes it even riskier. Just because, like, we're paying so much life. They want to ship. Alright, this is better. We can keep this. And then as for what I'm bottoming, it's probably just 3rd land. I'll bottom, I guess, Overgrown Tomb. I can get Swamp with this to cast these spells early. And then, like, obviously this completes all the colors. So, yeah, let's bottom the Tomb. I mean, there's an argument to just getting Overgrown Tomb again. So that way I could have max green for the Scavenging Ooze, which means I should have just kept the Overgrown Tomb if that was the plan. But I think the plan is still just get Swamp. I've got the Vial. How vile. Ren and 6 could change my want to get a Swamp, because, like, obviously you can't cast Ren and 6 off of basic Swamp. But without the knowledge that I'm getting without the knowledge that I'm drawing a Ren and 6, I think it's probably best to just save the life. Backup Ooze, not bad. I think the plan is still basic Swamp, cast Inquisition. Wow. Well, I'm not taking a Thalia. They've got 2 and it's legendary. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the 1 mana play. That has the potential for slowing them down the most. Like, if they spike a land and play a Kite Sail, I've got 2 ways to kill it. I mean, their hand's good, but it's risky. Okay. I think I'm just going to get the first Scavenging Ooze down while the board is empty. Alright, and we did dodge the turn 2 play, so that's pretty good. Alright, we drew more green as well. I mean, I do have to be careful. If I attack, they could Violin a Thalia, which is just like a first striking creature. But if they do that, I get to just eat the champion from their yard and then eat the Thalia. So there's no way that's their play. I'm definitely going to want to save a removal spell for their Kite Sail freebooter. What if I just attack for 2 and then just play second Scavenging Ooze? Kind of like that. Yeah, let's do it. It'll also insulate versus plays like Reflector Mage. Really don't want to get Reflector Maged and then just have both of them stuck in my hand. I hope this is a Thalia. Auriok Champion. That doesn't block very well. So, do I want to get the extra hit in by eating their thing? I think so. Let's get the extra point in. You can have your life. I mean, my hand's leftovers are pretty good. Sure. Ooh, Liliana is a good one. If I can get the board to be empty, Liliana is a way to get rid of the Auriok Champion. It's immune to all of my removal, but it's not immune to my green creatures. I mean, I could just get the Liliana into play now, but I want to be able to kill stuff and hold up the various removal spells. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to cast the Fatal Push targeting the Thalia, leaving a green source available. I could even just leave both green sources available by playing the Mountain first. You want to bolt now and then push on their turn? Well, what I'm thinking about doing now is just killing a thing and then attacking both, eating the thing to get in the extra damage. But I do see what you're saying, in that if I don't hold up a removal spell, the freebooter can take one, and then I don't have a clear way to get it back. I think I do want to get an attack in this turn, so I think I'm playing Mountain. And then as far as which of the two I cast now, I'm not sure that it matters. Yeah, like push can kill the bigger stuff, but like bolt can go to face, and like this is a game where I think could come down to a race. Yeah, but push does kill the bigger stuff. This is true. I'll lean towards casting the bolt now. So we'll bolt the Thalia, leaving up as much green as we can. And then let's just attack with both. So if their next play is Thalia, I can just push it. I mean, this push kind of has to be reserved for freebooter, so it's possible I just want to get the munch in now. But the issue there is, like, if they put Thalia into play, Fatal Push no longer like does the thing. I mean, just off of the fact that I've got Lilion in hand, probably means I should just hold up the Fatal Push anyway. Because if they end their turn with 2 creatures in play, I can sleep their board. Yep, holding the mana. You hit a land yet? They did. Alright, well now they get to double spell. Freeboot. I'm going to Thalia first. Makes some sense. Gain a life. So, oops, I forgot to track that. Sure. Yeah. Is this the freebooter? Oh, they just want to attack for extra. Sure. Alright, let's kill their Thalia. Because we're racing now. This is pod racing. Inquisition, not bad. We don't have lots of green, though. Alright, this is gone. Almost definitely going to get this Liliana and Edictum. So, I guess I'll attack first, because maybe they block and then I have their board empty, but I doubt they're blocking. If they don't block, I'll just, I'll use the smaller Scavenging Ooze to eat a creature. Yeah, I'm definitely Liliana -2ing, but I'll let them block or not block first. Get in the extra point of damage here. And like whatever you sacrifice, I'm kind of fine with it. Alright, they're up to 4 cards. They've got their mana established now. What can you do? Another Lieutenant. Yeah. Yeah, like a Mantis Rider too? Jeez. Okay, they're putting up a fight. You get the Liliana down? Just going straight at me. So what happens if I alpha? We are not threatening lethal. We're 1 off of threatening that. We've got a Kite Sail in their hand. If they play a human, they'll go up to they'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 powers worth of attacks. I think they've halted us. I mean, I get to Inquisition first, just see what's up. I have the option of completely emptying their hand. Looks like I will be. This doesn't matter. I say no. I plus this. Alright, so cards are face up on the table. So should I attack now? I think I can attack with 1 ooze. The only way I think I die if I attack with an ooze is if they draw Mantis Rider again. They can't Phantasmal Image. This is on 3 and neither one of these casts a spirit. So I think I'm attacking with 1 ooze. I attack with 1 ooze. This ooze can jump in front of the Auriok champion. I take 6. It's pretty risky. Attack both? If I attack both, I just die. Because they just take the damage, and then they attack me back. So I cannot attack both. They've got me dead on board to an attack with both. Unless I'm missing something. Like, I can gain 2 life. Puts me to 10. But literally any human kills me. But literally any human kills me if I go to 10. But this will get a counter. Like, if I can guarantee they're drawing a land, then yeah, it makes sense. But it's very risky. I'm just dead to Thalia's lieutenant. Well, no, that's not true, right? Because I'll be at 10, right? If I attack with both, I don't have any blockers, so it'll be 3, 4, 5, 6 plus a land, and then plus 4. That's 10. Like literally any human kills me though. Like they can even violin a 3-mana human and kill me that way. Do you see what I mean? I mean, I've got some time on the clock, so we can talk about it. Oh, you thought Auriok was on 2? Yeah. It's a 3/3. It's got 2 counters. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack with 1. All right, so I should probably be getting in the extra damage. Do I want to get in the extra damage? Probably. The issue is then the scavenging, the scavenging that's getting left back to block is gonna have to chump something. So I mean, I can hit him down to 5 here, but that means no 1 Scavenging Ooze. Actually, 1 Scavenging Ooze would be lethal in the next turn because I would just whichever one doesn't get blocked. Whichever one doesn't get blocked, I could just eat a thing. I don't want them to have a good attack with these creatures. Like if this stays a 3/3 and they draw, they put in any human, then I'm forced to trade. All right, that's a good sign. That means they have to hit a 3-drop for. They would have to hit a 3-mana creature. I mean, I think their attack might be just Mantis Rider. All right, yeah, and then they have to go with the Liliana as well, or else Liliana just gets to kill something. So this is gonna come down to the wire. This draw step is quite big. Gonna need like a removal spell obviously would be close to the nuts here. I mean, they have to block both things. Darn. I mean, there's only 2 creatures left. I mean, they have to block both things, or else they die. Is there a reason to play the land? Like, if they can kill something in combat somehow, then maybe I want to eat an additional thing. I think I'd rather keep them guessing, though. Yeah, I mean, every attack mattered. Oof, they're doubling. Alright, well, let's kill the Mantis Rider, I would guess. Alright, that's the order. Say okay. Okay. Alright, and now since there are a bunch of extra creatures in the yard, I should play the land. Because that means I can eat additional things. Alright, down to the wire again. They're still in chump block mode. I still need to dodge Reflector Mage. Reflector Mage would be the absolute worst case. They didn't have it last turn. Alright, that's a good sign. Yeah, like exactly, James. Like them chump blocking means that my ooze gets bigger. We win. Woo. Is there another game? I forget. Okay, no, that was match. I couldn't remember if we had won a game. Keeper. This hand's got a little bit of everything. It's got a whole lot of nothing if it's Tron, though. Forest. I am intrigued. And then I guess next turn I'll fetch Shock, play Renin 6. Alright, Forest Pluto Delta has me even more confused. I guess it could be an Uro pile. If it's an Uro pile, Renin 6 is a pretty good play, and Bloodbraid is a pretty good draw. Like a Forest or a Mana Leak or something. Maybe a Remand. My guess would be Uro pile. Sometimes they play like a Forest, right? Yeah, this has to be Uro pile. Yeah. Howling Mine. Is this taking turns? All right. Well, we drew Thoughtseize, so we don't have to wonder for too long. Yeah, it's taking turns. All right. Well, I guess Temporal Trespass is going to be the taking turns effect that they have easiest access to. So I think I'll take that. Maybe it's just part the Water Veil, though. It's kind of close. I mean, they do need a pretty stocked graveyard for a Trespass to be good. Yeah, I'll take the part. And then now that I know what they're up to, I think I'm more inclined to just get my clock down instead of play a pretty anemic Planeswalker. Like I need to kill them before they get their feet under themselves. Alright, they didn't miracle a Temporal Mastery. That's a win. Nissa. Do I think Uro would ever get the axe in Modern? Honestly, I don't think so. Like, it's obviously very good. I think one of the issues with Uro is that it's very good alongside a bunch of other really stupid cards. Like Uro's is one of those cards where it doesn't feel good to be on the other side of it. But I mean, we all know that from experience, right? But like it's also it's in a deck with cards that are also bad to play against. Like you don't want to play against Omnath. Like that card just feels miserable from the other side. You don't want to play against Nimizit. That card feels miserable from the other side. You want to play against Renin 6. That card feels miserable from the other side. You want to play against Teferi. That card feels miserable from the other side. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's just cards you don't want to play against Tribal. Not even if you're playing Jund. Just like in general, they're just cards that aren't fun to play against. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm blood braiding here. Keep on applying pressure. I mean, I could just play another Tarmogoyf. Second Tarmogoyf might actually just hit harder over time. So the options here are Bolt plus Tarmogoyf or Bloodbraid. I mean, next turn I could Bloodbraid plus Bolt. But I mean, that has me not using my mana pretty well now. I mean, I could Renin 6 and Tarmogoyf now and then make that play next turn, but I think I really want to start attacking. I'm leaning towards just casting this Bloodbreed. Just put the pedal to the metal. Like, and then if this hits removal, then we're golden. All right. Well, it's not exactly removal. Do I want to trade Nissa for Bloodbraid? I don't think that I do. I think the Bloodbraid's gonna be worth more damage if I just don't trade it off. I've got lands. Let's go aggro. But yeah, I do think Uro is like modern power level. But I think it's definitely one of the better modern cards. Like, if you sit it next to Liliana and Tarmogoyf, it does look pretty ridiculous just because Tarmogoyf and Liliana try to fight on, like, 1-for-1 axes. Maybe not Liliana. Maybe that's a bad analogy. But Uro just like is built to undo basically what every mid-range and aggro deck is trying to do. So I do think it's too good versus like the widest range of stuff. Like cards typically have bad matchups, right? Like there's spots where Liliana is bad, there's spots where Thoughtseize is bad. There's like almost never a spot where Uro is bad. Alright, pretty sure you're dead next turn, but they're gonna have to try to go off. Yeah, they're gonna try to go off. And as far as I'm aware, their kill is not deterministic, but it's basically deterministic, right? Because like they just find so many cards every turn. I mean, if they somehow haven't found a 6 mana or less way to take an extra turn, then I could win. Block the Aeons. Alright, well, they're off to the races. See if they can do it. Did I forget to use my Ren and 6? I feel like I did. Gonna get a Mystic Sanctuary again. Yeah, so I'm assuming they're effectively infinite now. The real annoying part is I have to yield through every turn instead of just letting it go. I guess Jace is a way to win, right? They can mill me out. Right, I'm assuming they've got the kill. Okay, so we saw Jace Friend's Prodigy, but that was about it in terms of creatures. Definitely want the Brutalities in here. Let's put the Ashioks in here. Let's put the Nile Spellbombs in here. And then most of the spot removal can come straight out. You need to cut 2 now. I don't want to take out all of my answers to Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I'm leaving in Bolts and the Decay as the earlier answers. I guess Brutality also does the job as well. I need 2 more cuts, though. They're not super clear. Maybe it is just another Bolt. And I don't know. Maybe it is just a Bloodbraid. I have a lot of early threats they can't really deal with. I just like the Bloodbraids because, like, if they have counter spells, it's a nice thing to cast in the counter spells. But as far as we're aware, they're only playing Remand. Jeez. Alright, well, I don't think I can keep a 1-lander, unfortunately. Hey, this hand's good. We got a Bob. Let's just ditch the Bloodbraid. I think I want to keep all the fast threats, Bob and Goyf. I think I want to keep the Kling. Kling could be instrumental in breaking up their Mystic Sanctuary shenanigans. Inquisition, not bad. Let's get the cards flowing. Hopefully. So, finding a land would be pretty great, because then we can Inquisition into Tarmogoyf and really apply the pressure. Jace? Yep. Bobby, find me a land. Hey, Bob found me a land. And an interesting thing to note would have been that we actually would not have been able to guarantee this land because we didn't have Wrenn and 6. And if we had Wrenn and 6, we wouldn't have had a fetch land to combo with. Oh, I entered combat by accident. That's fine. Not much is changing on this attack. Let's go to my main, play the land you know about. So the decision point now is, do I want to Inquisition and Tarmogoyf, or do I want to Bolt and Tarmogoyf? I'm definitely going to cast Tarmogoyf, but it's like, what are the odds I think they can flip this Jace now? I think the odds of that happening are pretty low, which means I can save the Bolt for next turn, which means I could Inquisition now. Like, if their next turn's play is something like a Howling Mine or a Dictative Crewfix, I'm going to really want to make sure that they can't resolve it. So I think I'm leaning towards Inquisition. And if I see their hand is dire enough to where I really want their Jace to die, I can always Bolt instead. They have a Nissa, a Savor the Moment, and a Growth Spiral, and some more ways to take turns. I think I'm just going to take the Nissa. It's another thing I would have to kill. Alright, and play the Goyf. Alright, I think we're in a pretty advantageous position as is. Welp. A miracle to Time Walk. So now if they find a fetch land, that would be a way to flip their Jace immediately. They did it again? That hardly seems fair. Alright, well now they get to flip their Jace for sure. I guess when I said what are the odds they get to flip their Jace before I get another turn, I didn't expect them to miracle back to back. They're doing it again? Is this even legal? Holy crap. Well, I mean, at least they're not actually playing lands all the while. That was insane, though. Like, all these time walks have effectively been cantrips plus a way to flip the Jace, which is bad. They get another turn after this, right? Just casually 3 miracles in a row. Oh my god. Well, I didn't think this was how this game was gonna go. Who needs RO now? Yeah. Jeez, that was absolutely ridiculous. Just 3 miracles in a row. I would love more lands. Alright, excellent. Thank you, Bob. Alright, well, I have to kill this Jace. This Jace cannot be allowed to live. If they hit another land, they get to start time walking again. So I think I'm just gonna kill both of these planeswalkers here. Yeah, I think I just have to kill both these planeswalkers. That was absurd. I'm glad I got that recorded. Alright, we're back in it. Despite the shenanigans. Liliana's a nice hit. But if we cast Liliana now, that means we're not redeploying Tarmogoyf, and Tarmogoyf is really big. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead on target the opponent and then go from there. I'm pretty likely to just recast Tarmogoyf after this resolves. Oh my god, they're playing Veil too, and it was the one card I didn't know about. That's kind of like a miracle, right? Just 3 miracles into a Jace into a Veil. Seems good. Alright, and they can start going for it if they want. I mean, these time locks are just cantrips as they are. There goes the walk. Alright, that could be Mystic Sanctuary if they want it to be. There goes the part. I mean, they're doing wheel spinning, but they don't actually have anything going with this. They didn't get a Mystic Sanctuary? Are they only playing 2? I had a feeling, like, with the way this game's going, I wouldn't be surprised if they just miracled the 4th one. Savor the moment? Sure. Yeah, like, none of this is actually doing anything. This game is hilarious, though. Alright, Inquisition or Thoughtseize? I guess none of that matters. Ooh, we hit Ashiok. That's good. Definitely going to attack first. What are the odds they hit a Remand? I think I'm just going to go for the Liliana. Just get the hand empty if I can. Like, worst case is they like flash in the Dictative Crufix, and they somehow just start chaining time walks. Do they really draw it? Okay, they're cycling. Cycling is fine. They can still flash in a Dictate if they've drawn it. Alright, they didn't though, so that's good. Don't think Ashiok matters anymore. I guess we can shock this. If we want to hit their whole yard at the same time, we can spell bomb them. Alright, so I think we win now. Holy crap, this is something. Okay. Jeez. Alright. I think I'm just gonna resubmit. I don't know that a turn 2 brutality is enough, but it is going to be able to kill their Jace and take the cards that help them get going. I think I'm going to keep, but I'm hesitant. Alright, this is a nice pickup. Don't think my life total actually matters, so I should probably just fetch Shock to get the Spell Bomb down. And I've got Ooze, so let's make sure we've got lots of green. I'll get an Overgrown Tomb. There's the mine. Alright, at least it's symmetrical. Alright, time to brutality, I guess. I guess let's just take lands out of the deck, honestly. Escalating seems pretty free. Who knows? These 2 life points could matter. If I want to guarantee Bloodbraid on turn 4, I would have to pitch the Ravine. I don't think this game is going to come down to attacking with the Ravine. I think I'm okay pitching it. I bricked the all instants and sorceries combo deck. I cast Collected Brutality and I bricked. Jeez. What did we watch or witness? I don't know, man. That was a load of baloney. Alright, they played a Scalding Tarn. Alright, Inquisition's a nice pickup, but we don't know that it hits anything. Ashiok is good, though. I think I'm just going to do that. Like, I could Liliana start plussing, but in the face of Howling Mine, it doesn't seem like it does a whole lot. I think I'd rather just prevent searches. And they've got a fetch in hand, so it might be able to shut off a few different ones. They should fetch in response. Alright, and then I don't know that there's anything super important that I could hit by minusing on them, but I'll start doing it just in case I hit any aces. I hit an Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. Funny. And 2 Time Walks. So, the turn coming up, I'm hoping to be able to pressure the Jace with the Bloodbraid. They might just plus, though. Yeah, to defend versus it just dying immediately. I mean, they're going to have to continue plussing to make sure it doesn't just die immediately. It's all the Inquisitions, I guess. Alright, so the ideal scenario is we hit like Kolaghan's Command or a Lightning Bolt to get this Jace dead as early as now. Say yes. I guess in case I hit the other Ashiok, I should activate this first. I hit a Temporal Mastery right off the top as well. Funny. Come on, deck. Bob, sure. It's more pressure. Let's hit your Jace. Alright, Howling Mine again. Alright, we dodged the Miracle. Alright, they could be putting the Miracle back on top, though, so they might be setting it up for next turn. If they are setting it up for next turn, I can Ashiok. Don't Time Warp. Don't you do it. I guess so. Alright, they're off. They're gonna try. So I can interact with their yard once at instant speed. Alright, that's probably good enough. So we're not sure that they have these cards. Because they've been brainstorming, but I mean, I'm assuming they've kept some number of these. Time Warp again. Still can't believe I cast Brutality on turn 2 and bricked. That's insane. As soon as they show me a win condition that they can actually win with before decking themselves, I'll keep on playing. But as soon as they show me like a good card that I'll actually win, I'll scoop. I guess this makes the Ashaya, right? The token. That's the way to win. They plussed? I guess. They're just trying to delve. I mean, they didn't actually have to do that to delve. They could have just paid the man and kept the cards in their hand. I hope someone at home is playing circus music right now. Yeah, they just attack now. Okay. Not great. They revealed Jagantha. Well, I guess that means Tron. Probably. Don't think I can keep this hand against anything, though. We got one land. I'll keep this one lander just because there's so much stuff that we have that we can do with the one land. My guess would be Tron if it's Jagantha. I guess burn is a possibility too. Hey, we hit forest. Sick. So I can wait for this thing to attack me again. And then just fatal push it. Hey, nice. Alright, well, I would love to be able to get a red source here, but I definitely want to kill their thing and not take a crap ton of life. I'll kill the thing that attacks for the most without spells being cast. Like, obviously, Slow Spear could attack for more, but I'd rather than have to cast stuff for it to happen. Alright, well, I'll cast Inquisition. And then I can make the decision whether or not I want to also cast Thoughtseize or hold up the Cling to Dust. Ooh, it's the Incinerator version. Alright, well, I'm going to be casting Thoughtseize then. I'll take Lava Spike. I don't intend on playing the Dark Confidant this game. So I think leaving him with a Lava Dart is probably fine. Incinerator, on the other hand, is going to be hard to deal with. Just going to cash in some prowess triggers, sure. Skewer me, sure. Goyf's a good one. Really, really good one. Alright, and I guess they could be playing Skullcrack. And in that case, I should just make sure we're safe and fire this off now. I mean, okay, so they actually do have multiple creatures in the yard. So this should be safe. To not shrink Tarmogoyf. We do have a Lava Dart in their yard, good for some prowess triggers. Okay, well that's going to open up the possibility for Lightning Bolt next turn, so that much is nice. Don't think I'm able to attack quite yet. I'm at a precarious life total though. More so spears. I haven't used my one time yet, right? I'm going to use my one time on Maelstrom Pulse. Another ooze. Alright, well, I could escape my Cling to Dust to go up to 6, which does put me out of range of a single burn spell. But I think I want to deploy the Scavenging Ooze because then I could actually gain some life long term. Like I would need to dodge exactly now. If I just cling to dust now, my Goyf shrinks and I go to 6, but that doesn't achieve a lot. There are a total of 3 creatures in the yard. Exiling the using cling to dust by escaping it means that if I'm gaining life with cling to dust, that means there's only going to be 1 creature left over for the ooze to eat. It's pretty close. So it's just, do I want to get lucky and dodge this 1 draw step, or do I want to play to win? Pretty sure I want to play to win, which is playing this ooze. Like if I use my entire turn on cling to dust, I'm still just in the same spot I was in before if my opponent draws any burn spell, except I have less on the board. So I need to dodge 1 mana burn spell right here. Shard Volley. Yeah, I guess so. It would be like the one of Shard Volley too. I'm assuming it's a one of. I mean, they have a lot of stuff that does it. Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt. I'll do it. Brutality in. Fatal Push in. Anger of the Gods in. Thoughtseize out. Bob out. Clean. So I wonder if they're playing. Oh yeah, they can't Companion Luris, right? Because they're playing the Incinerator. I mean, I've got 2 things I can do. Yeah, I'm just gonna ditch Throne in 6. I need to draw a green source. Like I'm happy just drawing a green source and never casting this Liliana at this rate. Would really love it to land though, clearly. Jeez. Alright, so they have 2 routes to turn 2 Chandra's Incinerator, unfortunately. Like if I take Seal of Fire, they'll just suspend Rift Bolt. And they've got two ways to also deal a damage immediately. So I just need to hope they brick on the lands. In the event that they're bricking on the lands, I guess I'm just taking the Rift Bolt. Like Rift Bolt does more than the Seal. But I mean, if I take the Seal, they could just have it in play for forever, and then as soon as they draw another land, they can get their thing into play. I think I'm gonna take the Seal and then hope that they brick on the land. We also need to hit it. So there goes the Rift Bolt. Rift Bolt is suspended. And ramming up. Alright, we bricked. I've been having a lot of hands like this lately. Did you hit the land? Oh, they did. Skewer Incinerator. You're a little late, bud. I mean, if I spike a land next turn, I could Liliana Edict it, but that's after I'm taking 6. They still just have good burn spells left over. I'm very, very dead. Needed this last turn. Alright, so we hit untap black. We can edict this thing. Okay. But we still have to beat the lava spike in hand. They're probably just saving it so if they hit a skewer, they can cast both immediately. I guess now it doesn't matter. Now they just have like Ramanap Ruins. You can get this other Ramanap out of their hand. Maybe I should just be discarding the Fatal Push so that Bloodbraid Elf is viable. But I mean, I need to be attacking with Tarmogoyf, which means that I need to be able to have this Fatal Push to break serve on if they hit like Goblin Guide or Swift Spear. So I think I need to keep the Fatal Push. Alright, now I have to get real lucky. If I can fade burn spells over 3 turns... I mean, they have to hit 2. There's 1. I mean, I guess now I won't even plus. Because I want to get Stomping Ground and tapped. So if I draw Bloodbraid, it's viable. Alright, dodge a burn spell, please. I mean, even a land kills me, right? Because they have Ramanap Ruins. Just like only creatures don't kill me. Alright. Boo. Flooded Strand. That could be a lot of things. Could be Stoneblade, could be Uro. Either way, I want to see a bop. Grixis? With Flooded Strand? Well, if they're playing Shadow, I'm assuming they would want black fetches. Because you can cast Inquisition and Thoughtseize off of them. So I'm not sure that it's Shadow, but I have seen some multicolor Shadow playing Flooded Strand. I'm a little on the confused side. Need to draw some spells. That's a spell. Maybe this is Grixis Control. And that would make some sense with a Flooded Strand, because they just want blue fetches. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna save the push. Or sorry, I'm gonna save the bolt because bolt can go after planeswalkers. I'm assuming they have planeswalkers in their deck, but they've got to have a high instant and sorcery count for this card to be good. I need like Bloodbraids and Tarmogoyfs. More lands is not gonna cut it. Alright, another one. It's a 4/3. Yep. Bloodbraid, Bob, Liliana, any of these. Okay, better late than never. Yep. Can't even be cute with a cling somehow. I don't know that the opponent is playing a whole lot of Mystic Sanctuaries, though, despite being some kind of blue control deck. We see Blood Crypt, Cascade Bluffs, Basic Swamp. I mean, it's possible those are just the lands that they have had access to this game, but it seems strange. More lands, not gonna do it. Gonna try to save this cling for Snapcasters and Mystic Sanctuary targets. Sure. So now that Cling to Dust is a draw 2, I think I'm just going to go for the draw 2. Nice. Alright, so I'm definitely going to drown now as well. Because I don't want them to be able to cast another drown to counter the Liliana. I'll hit the Flooded Strand because that actually lets me draw a card. And then I guess what do I want to keep in the yard? Maybe I have creature and lands. I should probably just leave instant. Well, I'm going to have instant no matter what. Let's just leave my creature. If I find my Kolaghan's command, I'm gonna be happy that I left it. Alright, so doing this now. I'll make sure to leave up double black in case they remand me. And again, being careful to make sure that they can't cast the Drown in the Lock to counter the Liliana. I escaped the Cling to Dust to ensure it happened that way. And I think I do want to now start putting cards in the yard because that can help reload the Cling. I'm pretty likely to discard the Swamp to the Liliana. I guess I could have played Peatland now to just sack it end step and to get immediately access to a newer card. So I think that was a small mistake. I think I should have played Peatland. Cling of your own. Okay. Makes my decision to play Verdant a little worse still. So yeah, I mean, they look to be just Grixis Control with the Bone Crusher finish. Rude. So, all my shocks are out of the deck. Here's the Force. The only thing this gets left is the Swamp. Should probably make sure I don't draw it. I mean, I may need a fetch just to enable Revolt. It only matters for Fatal Pushes. Yeah, I should probably just save it. If I draw Swamp, it'll suck, but not much I can do about it. That's a good one. Let's see if it sticks. It does. Alright. Alright, well, I'm definitely going to plus it, even though I could buy back the Peatland, because I don't want it getting bolted. So, I guess in an ideal world, I would have sacrificed Peatland first. Because then when I get this into play, I could immediately plus it on the Peatland. Oh, I guess it ends up working out anyway, because they would have just eaten my Peatland. That's not what I wanted. I want to sacrifice you. Bob, Goyf, Lily, Bloodbraid. Hell, I'll take a Thoughtseize now. Just don't give me a land. Or that. Don't give me that either. I mean, I guess I'm glad I kept the Verdant around. So I did draw a Fatal Push. If they put another Bone Crusher into play, I'm going to need the Revolt to kill it. Boo. Alright, well, Renin 6 is still at 1. Got another burn spell? What's up, Zanpacto? You were marking at the ridiculousness of this game? I mean, this game is more fun than my opponent taking 20 turns in a row, so I'm not going to complain on that front. Alright, let's cling a cling. Bloodbraid, Liliana, Renin 6, Tarmogoyf, Dark Confidant. Any of the above. I think about half of my deck is good hits right around now. I would love to exile their other Cling to Dust immediately, but if they are actually playing Mystic Sanctuaries, I don't want them getting a Kolaghan's command back. Jeez. Alright, for purposes of keeping Nurturing Peatland in the graveyard, I'm going to get the Swamp out of the deck. Because if I find one of my other 2 Renin 6s, I'm going to really want to wish I had the Nurturing Peatland available. This is when I draw Kolaghan's command and wish I had kept Goyf, right? Klingception. Oh yeah. Well, this at least still has a target in the deck. I get Mountain. That's it. Come on, deck. I mean, if I'm going to draw another land, I guess I'm happy it's a Ravine. Snap a Kolaghan's command. Oh, that's so bad for me. Alright, I wish I hadn't escaped the second Cling. But I mean, if I don't escape that Cling, they get to just do it again. They get to use their Cling again to get rid of mine, so kind of a double-edged sword. So now they're going to have me discard a card and I guess get back a Bone Crusher. They can even stomp me end of turn if they want. I just like found nothing. Uh-huh. I promise you, my hand is bad. What did they do on the second mode? Did they shocked me? Why? They did 2 damage to me? That seems wrong. I mean, the rest of their hand's got to be something stupid, right? And they have one. It was only one other card in their hand when that happened. I feel like they should have probably just gotten the Bone Crusher back. Like, if they cared about the 2 damage, they could have just stomped me immediately. Sure. I'm confused by that, but happy. Now you want to show up? What a tease. So I've got Cling to Dust available again. Can also block with the Raging Ravine if need be. Let's just see what happens with this Dark Confidant first. Counter draw. Yep. So do I want to hit him with the Ravine? Or do I want to just hold it back on blocks? I think I'm going to hold it back on blocks. It's not a race I'm easily winning. But yeah, I would be so dead right now if the opponent had just gotten their Bone Crusher back. Alright, well, whatever this targets, I'm eating. I guess if I find a Scavenging Ooze, I want a creature as well. I mean, if I find a Run and 6 is getting value no matter what. Let's leave a creature in the yard now, so I can gain the life. I think the life is probably a higher priority at this point. There's a Liliana. Took you long enough. Took you long enough. Alright. Funny enough, I think the Liliana is actually less important than the Scavenging Ooze at this point, so I'll lead on that and see what happens. And then if it resolves, I'll immediately minus. Leave up as much green as possible. Let's see if I can get this out of bolt range now. Alright, so I guess by the grace of the opponents not wanting to kill us by getting back their Bone Crusher, we're now ahead. I mean, they might have just misclicked, to be completely honest. But I mean, it's a Kolaghan's command. You gotta make multiple clicks to resolve that thing. Alright, what do you want me to exile? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Should probably just untap. I don't want to let them needlessly have a window to flash in a Snapcaster and get any amount of value. And now I can just start plussing Lilianas and getting in with the Ravine too and really close this quickly. I've got a two-turn closing window now. Bolt me? Sure. Do I want to double activate Ravine for any reason? I don't think so. Okay. Grixis Control. Ashiok will be good. Spell Bomb will be good. Bitter Blossom will be great. Brutality should also be fine. Maybe not because of Bone Crusher, but it does take Cryptic and stuff like that. So let's not maybe play all of them. Don't think I want to play Terminate. Bolt kills just about everything that we care about. Trim and Inquisition. Need to cut 6 now? Jeez. Alright, let's just take out more of the removal. Running 6 kills Snapcaster, but otherwise not a lot. Still need to cut 4. I'm honestly not certain these brutalities are going to be good enough. I mean, I guess it takes Cryptic Command, but I think I like Inquisition, especially versus this opponent, because we know they're playing Bone Crusher, and Bone Crusher tends to be very good. Brutality does not hit that. I'll cut a Goyf. You know, maybe I'll just cut 2 Goyfs. Just they're not multi for ones. It's a control mirror. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So if I want to not Inquisition on 1, I can hopefully guarantee a Ren and 6 on turn 2. But with the opponent playing counter magic, I kind of just like casting Inquisition on 1 anyway. Drawing a fetch land might change the decision. Swamp. Alright, well that doesn't cast Ren and 6 anyway. I think I'm just going to lead on Inquisition. You get to take a Seasoned Pyromancer, a Magmatic Channeler, or an Ashiok. Well, I've got an answer to the first threat that they do. And their Ashiok isn't particularly annoying, at least right now. I think I'm leaning towards just taking threats. Let's take a Pyromancer. Go. Yeah, I don't know what the opponent's doing here. Inquisition's a pretty good draw, though. I wasn't going to have a good play to make now that they didn't do anything. But now I can play this and get my Ravine in. So that was good. So now between Ashiok and Channeler, probably just want to take the Ashiok. Like, Ashiok is going to interact with my Red and 6 annoyingly enough. So where I should probably just leave him with the Channeler. Like, I've already got answers to most of their threats. I mean, I don't have a way to pressure their Ashiok with like a threat of my own. So maybe just taking it out of the equation now is good. Like, I could bolt it, but don't think I want to multi for one myself to get an Ashiok off. So now they channel. I don't know why they did just Channeler last turn. Liliana would be great. Okay, we didn't hit it. That's fine. So now I could bolt this and get Ren and 6 down. That seems strong. I can't play Swamp and do it. I have to shock the Blood Crypt. Alright, not a bad spot. I mean, the opponent's got Cryptic available as early as this turn, but they don't have untapped blue. Okay, they do. Not a whole lot of bad draws here. It's like Blackleaf Cliffs would be absolute worst. Oh, great. I could just slam Ashiok, but they get to cryptic it. Maybe it's best I just throw it into the wind anyway. I mean, I've got the Kolaghan's Command. Unfortunately, it's not worth a whole lot with no creatures in my yard. Yeah, I'm just going to put the Ashiok down. Their cryptic is going to be good no matter what at some point. Counter draw makes sense. They can Mystic Sanctuary to put it back on top now if they wish. Probably should. Okay. Does it stick? I guess not. Counter draw. Alright, well that's something I can Kolaghan's Command back and actually get some value. And we know they just drew another Cryptic Command. So if I'm gonna do this, it should probably just be now. They discarded a Cryptic? What is the rest of their hand? Nothing good enough to cast. With your Bloodbraid, that's probably the best thing we could cast into open mana. It's just lead on it, I guess. Trigger. With my luck, it'll be another run in 6. Please, not that. The opponent should definitely just let this cascade resolve immediately. Why are you responding? Sure. Yeah. For those who don't understand what I'm saying, the spell that I cascade into still goes on the stack, so you get a chance to respond to it. It's just free information to see what it is first. It was a pulse, so it did absolutely nothing. Alright, well that is not a Mystic Sanctuary. Only got one green source too. Pretty brutal. Alright, so if I want to play around Mana Leak, I guess I should cast one of these first. You know, we did see that they were playing Drown in the Lock. So that would, I think, actually be a reason to get the Spell Bomb in. Because if they try to drown the counter, I could Spell Bomb targeting myself, which would effectively counter their drown. Shock? It was like a Torrential Gearhulk or something? Snapcaster. You're gonna snap a Cryptic, I see. Alright, well if they don't just outright counter the Spell Bomb, I'm just gonna pass. So there's no point in throwing one of these things into the cryptic. They can only cast it this turn. Yeah, I think the opponent is a little trigger happy with these cryptics. They've got Bone Crusher, it'll be unfortunate. But I mean, Goyf outsizes it at least. I mean, without a fetch land or any land that goes to the yard, we're not really getting much other value off of this turn in 6. At least we get to trade for the Snapcaster for sure. And the opponent knows my card is Tarmogoyf. They're clinging in their draw step? I don't quite understand that timing. There might be a reason. Shock. Alright, so I guess they got another Snapcaster. They want a Cryptic again. I mean, I see no real reason to cast the Tarmogoyf into an apparent Snap Cryptic that I know of. But if I am gonna do it, I should do it now, right? Because then I can kill the Snapcaster with the Ren and 6. Look, these Snapcasters are going to be good almost no matter what I do. So I should at least turn their Snap Cryptic into basically just a Cryptic, because I can mitigate the Snapcaster half of the turn. Yeah, I do think they're pretty Cryptic Command trigger happy. Right, that could be a Mystic Sanctuary. We know they're playing at least 2. Channeler. It's going to be large, right? It's still just a 1/3. 2 instants or sorceries. That's funny. I would have expected it to be big by now. Awkward.deck. Alright, so now they can get another Cryptic if they want to. Probably should. No? I mean, there's no way they've got a card better than just Cryptic right now. I mean, unless like, they've already got an Insulation spell. And let's say they already have a counter and they're trying to also draw a threat, so they can go counter threat and be really ahead. But I mean, my 1 green mana biting me again. No fetches this game. Yeah, so like them not getting Cryptic back makes sense that they've got another one. That's actually their 4th one, isn't it? Yep. Now they're gonna put Cryptic back. No? Probably just put the Cryptic back. I mean, unless they like drew a Sanctuary. We know they don't have any other Cryptics in their deck. They're 2 in the yard and 2 in exile. And they're giving me a window here. They finally drew a win con. Just clinging. They targeted my ooze. They don't draw a card if they target a creature. That seems like a mistake. Well, silly as it sounds, I get to attack with a Ravine now. Yay, a land on turn 11. Alright. That's good forest. It's probably free. Just save the life. Oops. Wouldn't be surprised if they had a bolt or something. I mean, if they don't have the bolt now, this gets out of range. Yep. This has been a weird game. Nice. It's a good one. If it doesn't die immediately, I expect to pull ahead. I mean, they've got their cling in their yard. They could escape it twice if they wanted. They had a push, or I mean, they have enough room in their graveyard to escape their cling twice. If I were them, I'd probably be just drawing an extra card. I'd be wanting to find something that pulls me ahead. All right, I'll save that to pair with my next spell that I actually want to resolve. You drew Snapcaster. Oh my god. Oof. Targeted bolt? Sure. I mean, the opponent still has to win this game and the game 3, and they're kind of low on the clock. I'm not sure they'll be able to do it. But we'll see. Still like love a Bloodbraid or Tarmogoyf or something. It's not bad. I mean, if I want it to be effective long term, maybe I just can't afford losing the life off of the Thoughtseize. I'm just gonna try to jam it and hope it's good. I mean, if it gets countered, then it's unfortunate, but the fight goes on. Gain 3 life, sure. Pretty glad I didn't Thoughtseize. If I were them, I'd be clinging here. Okay. It's a good one to find. Alright, so Bitter Blossom's job is to keep their stuff off my back for some amount of time now. Yep. Here come the lands. Found them. I've got some ways to gain life. I think I should just be trading here as opposed to just blocking the bigger thing. Alright, they found the bolt. Alright, that does it. They played that game so weirdly. I don't know if there's anything that I want to change. I'm just going to resubmit. Like, I see arguments for playing Goyf and Ren and 6, but I'm not even sure what I would take out. Maybe I could take out a Decay for this other Ren and 6. That seems fine. This one's good. I'm gonna go Stomping Ground into hopefully Dark Confidant on 2. They could have bolt or push. But I mean, if they've got it, they've got it. Not much I can do about it at this stage. Got the answer? Not the one-man answer. Ooh, we're getting a trigger. We're gonna get a trigger. We did it. Finally. Nice, a ravine. Not bad, not bad. So, I'll attack first. If they flash in a Snapcaster to try to block, I think I'm okay with that. I'll just kill their thing before they're able to actually block. You let me get the card off of the Bob? Okay, I think this opponent may be newer to Modern, because they played the game kind of inefficiently in a few spots. Then letting me have a card off of Bob in a mid-range / control mirror just seems far from correct. I'm just going to discard Verdant here, I think. Ravine could end up attacking at some point. Not going to discard a spell quite yet. Sure. Thoughtseize, not a bad one. So Thoughtseize is going to have a target almost no matter what. So I think I should be plussing first so they discard a card without the information that I'm going to be Thoughtseizing them. And then I think I should discard Fatal Push now. I want to have the Bolt to kill walkers and basically all of their creatures that I've seen die to Bolt. They've got a Bone Crusher. Well, that dies to basically everything. So if I play the Spell Bomb off of the Stomping Ground, I can't hold up the Bolt. But if I play it off of the Overgrown Tomb, it's a tell that I've got the Bolt. I'm honestly not sure that the tell is even worth a whole lot, so let's just put down the Bolt. Or when I put down the Bolt, I mean put down the possibility of casting Bolt. I think I'd rather just be able to Spell Bomb. Maybe I should be doing it now-ish, because if they draw a fetch land, they could hold my activation hostage in the face of them getting back a Cryptic Command with the Sanctuary. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Don't see a reason to pop this yet. I want to prevent Mystic Sanctuaries if possible. And as soon as you get rid of my yard, there's the Renin 6. It'd be like that. Alright, I mean, I can kill their Ashiok with both of these things, which also turns the Liliana asymmetrical, which I'm pretty sure I want. And then this Liliana can deal with the Bone Crusher that's in exile pretty easily. We got another Bone Crusher. Excellent. Still think I'll hold off on the Spell Bomb activation. From this point, I think the opponent's going to be pretty hard pressed to win, especially in under 2 minutes. Wow, alright, well, I can get my card back off of this. There's no Ashiok, I can search. So yeah, even if the opponent had more time, I think I'm winning here. Yeah, they agree. Alright, so I'll do a quick deck tech / wrap up for purposes of the recording. Alright, so the big thought experiment here was, is Dark Confidant good in the current meta? I don't think it overperformed. I also don't think it underperformed. It was a lightning rod for removal, as it usually is. So we never really got any games where it really started steamrolling. So I mean that could be an indication of it's just not that good in the current meta. But again, I've only had 2 leagues with it now, so not a ridiculously large sample size. It was good in a few spots where I deployed it, but it was also pretty bad in a few other spots. We played against Burn, and very clearly you don't want Dark Confidant there. I still like the split of Decay and Terminate. I could see going up to 2 Terminate and going down the Decay. Just killing a creature, and any creature is the relevant mode on these 2 flex spots, I think. So I think Terminate would fill this other spot just fine. It has worked out fine for me in the past. I still like the split of 3 push, 3 bolt. The 2 clings have been phenomenal. I think 3 Bloodbraids is probably fine if I'm playing 3 Dark Confidants. And I still like 1 Pulse and 1 Kolaghan's Command. As far as the sideboard is concerned, I think I still like how it's configured as is. The Damping Spheres have been good. The Ashioks have been good. Haven't had the Anger be good yet, but I've only boarded it in. I've only been playing it in 2 leagues so far, and I have yet to see it. The Spell Bombs have been good. The extra Fatal Push we haven't seen. Again, we know this is the extra one because the art is different, but I still have boarded it in and have been happy to board it in. The Bitter Blossoms have been slightly underperforming, but I think we just haven't had it in the ideal scenario, which is turn 2 on the play versus a mid-range or control deck. So we just haven't had that scenario come up quite yet. And then the Brutalities have been fine, and then we just never saw the Cleansing Wildfires this league. So not much to say about them, but I imagine had we seen them in matchups where they would have been good, I expect them to do their job. So yeah, that's going to be it for this particular video. If you like what you see, remember to give me that thumbs up, hit that like button on the YouTube recording, and if you're watching here on Twitch, a really nice free way to support my content is to follow my channel. Both my YouTube and Twitch handles can be found on the bottom of your current screen. Everything is listed right down there. So until next time, I appreciate y'all stopping by, and have a good one.